National League now has won 5 of the last 6 of these midsummer spectacles.
What a throw by Dave Parker, who continues to show why some people consider him the greatest player in the game, all the way on the fly. No hitting a cutoff man in this situation.
There's a long drive. That one is going way up. It is off the roof.
And up against the fence. This could do it. Being waved home is Gwynn. They got a play to Rodriguez. Safe.
Away from him, but watch the reaction of John Kruk.
Including the entertaining strikeout of
standing ovation. It will grow as Ripken bats here in the third. The man of 1,000 stances leads off, rips one, goodbye. Ripken homers in his final All-Star game.
Welcome to another edition of TalkYOSpitTV. I am your host, Mario Harris, and it's baseball season, so why not drop another baseball episode? You know what I mean? As you see, I got my Boston Red Sox hat on, man. You know I'm a Boston fan. Always been one since around the 2001 season. So, hey, I've been here. We've been doing our thing, man. Right now, we're a few games out of wild card, but I think we're going to get it. I think, man, this next half of the season, we're going to be on the road. We still got a few games left until All-Star break. But, hey, we right there, man. We're right there, and especially after making that Raffy trade. We've been on the road, man. We went to the West Coast and had a bad West Coast outing. That kind of pushed us back, but ever since then, we've been on the road. So shout out to my Boston Red Sox, man. But this episode, man, this is about All-Star, man. I'm gonna name the All-Star team from each league and a few snubs here and there. I'm not gonna fully give my full take on everything. We'll be here for all day long. I'm trying to make this quick, easy, smooth for y'all, But let's get into it. As you see, man, I got my phone here. I'm going to be reading off on my phone, everything that I have. A lot of my stats and facts come from Baseball Reference, MLB.com, Fox Sports. It come from a few different places. So these are not my stats. These are not my stats. These are stats that I got online from credible sources and whatnot. So these are not made up stats or anything like that. These are not my opinions or anything like that. Like I said, I'm gonna try not to put my full opinion on everything right here, so we won't be here too long, man. And as always, man, I got a couple facts for y'all, a few facts for y'all before I start the show, man. These facts are straight about the All-Star game. So look, let's start it off. The American League, they lead the All-Star game against the National League with a 48-44 record. There's been 2 ties between the two teams. The American League also with a narrow margin with 388 runs to National League 380 runs. The AL has also won 10 of the last 11 games, but the National League has the longest winning streak between the two teams in the All-Star game with 11 games in a row of winning from 1972 to 1982. With that being said, let's go ahead and start this off, man. We're going to start off with the American League All-Star starters. So let's go ahead and start this off, man, with the American League starters from each position. You got your at catcher, Cal Raleigh from the Seattle Mariners, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the Blue Jays, Gleyber Torres from Detroit Tigers, Jacob Wilson at shortstop from the A's, Jose Ramirez at third base. Outfitters, we got Riley Green from the Detroit Tigers also from the Detroit Tigers, we got Javi Baez, and also last but not least, Aaron Judge, of course. Everybody knew he was going to get it, whatever. And the DH from the American League is Ryan O'Hearn from Baltimore. Now, a few players that cannot play in the All-Star game because of injury. We got third baseman Jose Ramirez cannot play in the All-Star because of injury, and he is being replaced by Tampa Bay Rays Junior Caminero. Sorry, Junior. Your starting pitchers for the American League is Houston Astros Hunter Brown, Kansas City Royals Chris Bubic, Boston Red Sox my boy Garrett Crochet, he been balling out, Texas Rangers Jacob deGrom, New York Yankees Max Fried, Los Angeles Angels, Yusei Kikuchi. Detroit Tigers, Tyreek Skubal. Chicago White Sox, Shane Smith. Seattle Mariners, Brian Wu. And Joe Ryan has made it for the starting pitchers for injury reserve. Your American League reserve now, we have Alex Bregman from the Boston Red Sox, my boy Bobby Witt Jr. from Kansas City Royals, my bad. Jazz Chisholm Jr. from the New York Yankees, Alejandro Kirk from the Blue Jays, Tampa Bay Rays, got two of them, Brandon Lowe and Jonathan Aranda. Jeremy Pena from the Astros, Brent Rooker from the Athletics, the Minnesota Twins, Byron Buxton, Cleveland Guardians, Stephen Kwan, and the Mariners, Julio Rodriguez rounds off your American League reserve, man. Good group of guys right there, great talent right there, a lot of hitting on that reserve, but a lot better at defensive than hitting from the reserves on the American League right there, man. And your American League snubs, who I thought they were snubs, man. A few people online also thought they were snubs too. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into all each and everybody. It's gonna be just a few people, man. Detroit is leading the league. Detroit Tigers are leading the league right now in the record book. However, they only have one player in the reserve. That's pitcher Tarek Skubal. First baseman Spencer Torkelson, he could have made it. He has 72 hits, 20 home runs, batting .238. And his last 5 games, man, with 28 bats, he has 70 hits. That's good for a 350 batting average right there. Your next American League snub, I have Paul Goldschmidt from the New York Yankees, the 7-time All-Star. He's batting at 284 right now. That's 18th best in the American League, and he has 87 hits. The Yankees are 48 and 41 right now, so far as second place in the American East. His last 5 games, 21 at bats with 5 hits. That's good for 238. So he's kind of below average in the last 5 games or so. However, the first baseman who did get the nod was Jonathan Aranda, like I said before, from the Tampa Bay Rays. He's batting .315, man. That is great. If you don't know, that's great. That is 4th best in the American League, and he got 90 hits. Tampa Bay right now, however, are tied with New York and in the second place in the American East. This is Jonathan's first All-Star, so shout out to him, man. His last 5 games, 18 at bat, 3 hits. However, he is also batting lower than his average. Right now in the last 5 games or so, he is batting 167. However, though, he's 10th in the MLB in the whole league at on base percentage at 409. So he gets on the base, whether it's a hit or a walk, he gets on the base. So that's good for him. Shout out to Jonathan Aranda on his first All-Star appearance, man. Next, we have Boston Red Sox Carlos Navidad. I didn't think he was going to actually get it, but I put him as a snub because he's been playing very great this season for us. He's batting .274 with 234 at bat with 234 at bats, and he has 64 hits. On base percentage, he is .351, so he's getting on there. He's in the 91st. He's in the 91st percentile in framing rate. He's a catcher, so he's making it seem like the pitcher is striking everybody out. Let's just say that, +7 in defensive run save, which is tied with San Francisco Patrick Bailey for first among all major league catchers. So he's top in that right there. And he's also tied with winning percentage behind Kyle Raleigh and Will Smith for a catcher. So if he's in the game, he's likely going to get you a win. With, like I said, that framing rate is up top, is top notch. And that frame rate basically means, for y'all who don't know baseball, doesn't watch baseball, basically when the pitcher throws a pitch that's kind of outside the strike zone, the catcher has to catch it and frame it to make it seem like it's a strike and kind of, in a way, confuse the umpire to call a strike. So my boy Carlos, he's topping that, whether the pitcher throws a strike or not. If it's around the strike zone, he's catching it and framing it into the strike zone for you. So shout out to my boy Carlos, man. He is doing his thing right there. The reserve catcher, however, Alejandro Kirk, who did make the All-Star team from the Toronto Blue Jays, he's batting .303 with 82 hits, man. It's hard Like I said, I didn't think Carlos was going to make the All-Star team, but it's hard to make the All-Star team when the person above you is batting 303 with 82 hits, and he's tied seventh in the AL with batting average. He has 7 home runs and 41 RBI. He's caught 16 runners this season from stealing in the 97th percentile. So that's top notch. That's high. That's up there. Obviously one of the best in the major league. He is if Carlos Navarez is +7 in frame rate, Alejandro is +8 in the frame rate. So his frame rate is higher. He's at a 47% frame rate. So I mean, Carlos Navarez is right there. Alejandro Kirk is just a little bit better, man. So it takes time, man. Carlos, he's young. If I'm not mistaken, they consider him a rookie. He played for the Yankees last season, but he didn't play no game for them to consider him to be for him to consider that through a whole year and whatnot. So this year they do kind of consider him as a rookie. So he has time to grow and has time to learn. And I'm pretty sure before his career is over, he will have multiple All-Stars under his belt. The next American League snub that I got from the All-Star game is Toronto Blue Jay outfielder George Springer, and I thought he would have got it, man. George Springer in the past, he has won the World Series with the Astros in 2017.
His first award goes to a center fielder, George Springer of the Houston Astros, who hit 5 home runs in this great 7-game series.
He's a 4-time All-Star and a 2-time Silver Slugger, so he's great at batting and great at base running, man. I also thought he would got to get it. I thought he was going to get the All-Star nod this season, man, but apparently the players didn't think so. He's batting .281 with 81 hits and 16 home runs and an on-base percentage at .376. That's right there above league average, man. I mean, if you look at that, just stats alone, you would have thought he made the All-Star team. And I'm pretty sure he feels somewhat about that, not making an All-Star team, but also him playing great is also something that he has pride to look forward to, man. He's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I think for sure he will definitely get into the MLB Hall of Fame. In 63 games, he has 65 putouts and only 1 error and a .985 fielding percentage, which is above league average. And if he keeps it up at this pace, he will definitely be above league average by the end of the season, man. So George Springer is definitely playing great baseball right now. However, I don't know why he didn't get it. The players didn't vote him in, but it just be like that sometimes. Now on to the National League, man. We got your starters. Catcher from the Dodgers, Will Smith. First baseman, also from the Dodgers, my boy Freddie Freeman. Second baseman from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Ketel Marte. I really like him. He's a very great player on base-wise and hitting-wise and running, base running too. I really like Ketel, man. He's a very good player. Third baseman, San Diego Dodgers, Manny Machado. Shortstop from the Mets, Francisco Lindor. All around player. He is definitely very, very deserving of another All-Star. I think this, if I'm not mistaken, this is his 4th All-Star appearance in so many years. So Francisco, shout out to him. Another one of my favorites from the Atlanta Braves, Ronald Acuna Jr. Pete Crow Armstrong from the Cubs, Kyle Tucker also from the Cubs, and my boy Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers. Of course, he was going to get it just like Aaron Judge, man. Another big hitter, another great hitter in Ohtani, man. Your reserves for the National League: Hunter Goodman from the Rockies, Pete Alonso, my boy L.A. De La Cruz from the Reds, he got it. Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals, Matt Olson from the Braves, Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks, also from the Diamondbacks, Corbin Carroll, Kyle Stowers from Miami, Fernando Tatis Jr. from the Padres, James Wood from Washington, and Kyle Schwarber from the Phillies. Your starting pitchers from the National League: Matthew Boyd from the Cubs, Mackenzie Gore from Washington, Clayton Kershaw was a Legends pick from the national team, man. Y'all don't get me started on Clayton Kershaw, man. I was a huge fan of Kershaw back a few years ago, but in the last 5 years or so, man, Kershaw has injuries can play a part in that for sure, but he's definitely been to me, very subpar in the last few seasons, man. But hey, legend pick. He is going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame for sure. So shout out to Clayton Kershaw. Freddie Peralta from Milwaukee, right-hand pitcher left-hand pitcher, excuse me, Robbie Ray from San Francisco. Chris Sale, my boy from Braves. Paul Skeen from Pittsburgh. Logan Webb from San Francisco. Zach Wheeler from Philly. He was definitely going to make that. Boy, that boy can pitch right there. Zach Wheeler. Whew, that boy can pitch. My boy Yamato from the Dodgers. I'm definitely not going to even try to say his first name, but Yamato from the Dodgers definitely can pitch too. Shout out to him. Andrew Abbott from Cincinnati and David Peterson from the Mets also make the starting pitchers for the National League, man. Now, a few National League snubs that I have on here, man. It's like I said, I'm not going to talk about a lot of them. The National League have a lot of snubs. They have a lot of players that could have made it, and for whatever reason, they didn't make it, man. So it's not going to be I'm not going to name all of them. Just going to name a few of them here, man. Starting off from the Cubs, Seiya Suzuki, right fielder and DH. A lot of people thought he was going to make it this season, including me. But the Cubs got a few players, as I named them all off right there. They got a few players already on there, so that kind of knocked his chances on down. But Suzuki, he's batting .259 with 24 home runs, 89 hits, 22 double-doubles, 3 triples, and a .318 on-base percentage with 77 RBI, which lead the whole league in RBI. So that's why, just reading off them stats right there, I just knew he was going to get it. Unfortunately for him, he didn't get it, so better luck next year for Suzuki. But the Cubs got, like I said, the Cubs got a few players over there that made the All-Star team, and I'm expecting big things from the Cubs in this second half of the season. Also, like I said, from the Cubs, they have 3 All-Stars, 2 starters with Cal Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA, if you want to call them that, that made the team. Yeah, they have a first-time All-Star in Matthew Boyd, who's making it this season, a pitcher who showed big things this season. He's always been a pretty good pitcher, up and down years, up and down seasons and whatnot. But this season he's been very consistent for the Cubs. So shout out to Matthew Boyd. But however, first baseman Michael Busch, he was right there. I think right there from getting it. You know what I mean? He had a great season. The person in front of him who got it was Pete Alonso from the Mets, man. Pete Alonso he's that guy. He's been doing good. But however, Michael Busch, man, let me read these stats off for you. 84 hits, 18 home runs, 297 batting average. So he's definitely doing way better than the league average. On base percentage of 382. He's getting on base. Like before, whether it's a walk or a hit, he's getting on base. He's gonna find a way to get on base. So Michael Busch, when he's up to bat, pitchers gotta think twice about what they pitching to him, because he's gonna find a way to get a base hit, if not a home run. However, I think at first base, another reason he didn't get it, he got 5 errors at first base, and that's very high for a first baseman. I mean, that's high for any infielder in the major league, honestly. But at first base, man, that's very high. Having 5 errors in the season, in the first half of the season, which the league average at that position is only 1. So like what I mean, you have 5 and you are way above the league average. I think that right there was the reason for him not making the All-Star team. But however, he made 59 double plays this season. So I mean, even though errors may be a little bit too high, he's very smart with the ball. Understand where to go at first base. If the ball is hit to you, do I run to the bag and tag, or do I have to throw it second first to get this base running? It's things like that. You got to be one step ahead in baseball always, so you know what to do. So 59 double plays this season is actually pretty good. But like I said, the player in front of him is Pete Alonso from the New York Mets, which is making his 5th All-Star appearance. He's just a reserve, however, but he played very good to be on the All-Star team. And the starter for the National League is Francisco Lindor. Like I said, I'm not gonna say necessarily a huge fan of Lindor, but I'm a fan of Lindor for real, man. He's an all-around player Pete Alonso batting stats are his batting at 290 right now with 100 hits and 21 home runs. He leads the league with 25 doubles, and he has 75 RBIs, which is right there under Suzuki. Suzuki got 77 RBIs. Alonso has 75, so he's right there at top of the RBI list. He has an on-base percentage of 383, but however, he also has 5 turnovers. Excuse me, 5 errors at first base too. So I mean that comes down. The reserves, they are chosen by the players. The starters are chosen by the fans. So it came down to the players who they basically liked more. Was it Alonso or was it Bush, man? So somebody has to get snubbed, somebody has to get left on, and unfortunately, for Michael Bush, it was him. But Pete Alonso, very deserving at getting his All-Star nod. Trey Turner of the Philadelphia Phillies, he's been snubbed, man. Very, very solid player. Always been a solid player. In 2019, he won the World Series with the Nationals. Bryce Harper and them. Yep. So shout out to him that season, man. He also led the league twice before in the past in the most hits in a season, and he's also doing it again this season with the most hits so far. He's at 111 hits. He's batting 298, and with 11 home runs and an on-base percentage of 348. The league average for on-base percentage is between 320 and 340 around that area. So if him having 348, he's on base and better than the league average, man. So Trey Turner, he was definitely deserving of getting the All-Star. However, the player didn't vote him in. In 95 games at shortstop, he has put out 376 base runners with only 8 errors, man. That is crazy. His combined errors from the last 2 seasons are 45 in all. So he's playing way better defensively this season than he has in the past 2 seasons, man. If he keeps this up, he's gonna have way less than 45 errors. Like I said, that's 45 between 2 seasons though. But still, if he keeps this up, he's gonna have way less than his last 2 season average of errors, man. Fielding percentage is 979. The league average is around 970. So, balls hit to him, he's making a play, making it out. He's doing what he had to do. Once again, in baseball, you have to be a few steps ahead to know where to go. If it's base runners there at first and second, you playing short, and it's one out, man. Do you throw the ball at third? Do you throw the ball at second to get the dope play? It's few ways you can go to get the dope play. You got to see who's on base, see how fast that base runner is, things like that. So Trey Turner is definitely making the smart plays, man. He's doing what he has to do at his fielding. Like I said, fielding percentage is 979. So he's very, very, very high at fielding. However, the person that got in front of him, which I can't even argue with, that's my boy, L.A. De La Cruz, man, from the Cincinnati Reds, man. Another all-around great player. Great player. Since he came into the league 3 seasons ago, he's been a great player. Made 2 All-Star. It's the second time making an All-Star team in 3 seasons. That let you know how great of a player he is. And if he keeps this up, he's definitely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer by the end of his career. So shout out to him, man. Right now, he's batting 275 with 97 hits and 18 home runs with a 346 base percentage. He's ranked 5th this season so far in stolen bases with 22. And in 92 games, he has 128 putouts with only 12 errors, man. Fielding percentage is 962, which is kind of under the league average at 970, like I said. However, it's just another player that I just feel like the player just felt like, he's playing a little bit better. So that's why they voted him in. But however, the Phillies right now have a few games above the Reds, and they win totals about 6-7 games above the Reds. So the players, they just really felt like De La Cruz was the better choice. So yeah, man, that was my All-Star selection and All-Star snub episode today, man. Thank y'all for listening, man. Like I said, I had just a few snubs on there. I wasn't gonna name everybody, wasn't gonna name all they stats, I wasn't gonna name my opinions and all that things right there, man. Would have been here forever doing that. Duran from the Red Sox, I feel like he could have made it this season. Also, Raffy probably could have made it if he would have never got traded. So, man, the National League, they had a lot of players that possibly could have made it. American League, I feel like they did pretty good with their selection right there, man. As always, man, please subscribe to the channel, Yo Cameraman. You can type in Talk Your Spit TV. My videos will come up. Always like, share, comment. We can talk about baseball all day long, man. If you feel like it was some snubs on there, if you feel like some players shouldn't have made it, leave a comment, let us know. I will discuss it. I'll comment back with you and everything, man. Until next time, I'm Mario Harris. Thank y'all for watching another episode.